Welcome to Friday's devotions. This is our final in the wee series of When Jesus Met, and today we're thinking about a man called Jairus who Jesus met. The story can be found in Mark 5, and we'll begin to read here at verse 22. Then came one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, and seeing him he fell at his feet and implored him mercy, saying, "My little daughter is at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, so that she may be made well and live." And he went with him. And then we go on down, verse 35. While he was still speaking, there came from the ruler's house some who said, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any more?" But overhearing what they said, Jesus said to the ruler of the synagogue, "Do not fear, only believe." And he allowed no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. They came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and Jesus saw a commotion, people weeping and wailing loudly. And when he had entered, he said to them, "Why are you making a commotion and weeping? The child is not sleeping, it's not dead. The child is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him. But he put them all outside and took the child's father and mother and those who were with him and went in where the child was. Taking her by the hand, he said to her, "Talitha cumi," which means, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." And immediately the girl got up and began walking, for she was 12 years of age. And they were immediately overcome with amazement. And he strictly charged them that no one should know this, and told them to give her something to eat. Amen. This is a wonderful story. This man Jairus, he's a synagogue ruler. He was a very religious Jewish man, therefore. A lot of those who were synagogue rulers would be those who opposed Jesus. But in this situation, because of the great need, his daughter who was so sick, he came, he threw himself at Jesus' feet. He had no concern of what others would think of him. He just wanted his little daughter to be healed. And so he throws himself upon Jesus and implores Jesus to come and help. And Jesus is on his way. And then you have the story of the woman with the flow of blood and how Jesus heals her. And Jairus would have seen this, remember? He would have witnessed what had happened to her, the amazing miracle of her being healed after all those years. And then comes the moment of crisis, in that he is told by people who have come from his home that now the little girl is dead and don't bother the teacher anymore. This is a situation which is beyond Jesus. That's really the implication. But Jesus hears and he says to Jairus, "Do not fear, only believe." And Jairus has had the evidence of the woman who had just been healed. And Jesus is saying, "Listen, understand, there's no situation outside of my control. Trust me. Trust me." And you know, in every situation of life, that is the call of Jesus, to people to trust him, to come and put ourselves onto him, rely on him, and embrace him as our only hope. We're not told what Jairus thought or believed at this point, but Peter, James, and John and Jairus go with Jesus. They come to the home of Jairus. The great commotion, the wailing's going on. Jesus puts them out and says to the little girl, "Little girl, arise." And the wee 12-year-old girl is awake. She's alive. And here we see the great power of Jesus. This is what Jairus saw, that Jesus who has the victory over death. We're all going to die one day. Each one of us will die. Those that we know and love will die. But Jesus is the one who gives the victory. Jesus says, "Don't fear, just believe. Trust in him. He is the resurrection and the life. He is the one who will take us out of this world into the new heavens and new earth one day, which will be this world of joy and bliss, a real world. We will live real lives, as real as our lives now. But it'll be accomplished through Christ alone. Oh, don't fear, just believe. Amen.